9.5, 9.6, 9.6. Round of applause. On deck, we have Cool Tree Mag, but first, man, me applause for Shairon!
Hey guys. Give me a second.
Give it up again for Shairon!
Love rolls over in her grave. It's November. I'm at this partial patient program every day of the week, excluding weekends, which in summation means that I go to a hospital, sit in a chair in a room full of strangers and talk about my problems and feelings in a broad enough way that no one can pin down what I'm actually suffering from. And heck, if I know what my real problem is. My best guess, I'm a functional delusional and a great Gatsby new money, Tyler Durden, God complex mega genius without a cause sort of way. I'm being generous when I say mega genius. Disconnected like Jim Carrey as Andy Kaufman, righteously dogmatic like George Carlin, and charismatic like Schrodinger's cat. But maybe substitute his cat for a job, or a purpose, or even a 2-ton brick tied to the end of my leg, drifting down to the bottom of any river large enough to drown a man in mid-August. If I ever commit to drowning myself, I'll wait for the middle of August to do it, preferably in a major river filled with gunk and trash, but in a spot that's not too local and that has a nice view. Maybe there's a good but cheap coffee shop nearby, family owned by a nice white family. Any kind of white will do, just not oppressed. But we're past that point. I have to wait for another rotation of season. You see, I'm always transitioning in between, on the rise but not quite there. 6 years in and out of hospitals, just turned 26, and I've not had a real day in that time. I was always somewhere else, never really quite where I actually was. When I talked, people listened for the most part like insects drawn to electrical insect repellent lamps. Maybe it's because they sense the desperation behind my eyes and my voice, or maybe I'm just good at bullshitting. Any story is true if you generalize it enough. Take out the major characters, make it theoretical, remove subjective experience and emotion. If your message is simple enough, what's not to agree with? Take me, for example. My name is Sean Black, and I'm an alcoholic. Just means I'm a better sinner than you. I'm also a Caribbean-born immigrant, moved here by my parents when I was 1. Here's in America, as in planet Earth. Here's in the shit dispenser we like to call human skin. I don't drink anymore. I never drank that much, or at least not to continued excess. Alcoholic. I'll never get tired of saying that. Even with a drink in hand, it's got a nice ring to it, like almost as if the word itself, if spoken correctly and with the right intention, can inebriate spontaneously one's surroundings. I'm not much for labels, but this label, this one, speaks of a fatalism that I can most certainly get behind. All those other boxes God fit me in that I'd rather not mention are fine enough, miserable enough, so why not shuffle them all under gratuitism at its finest and be done with it? The subcategory alcoholic, now that is a brand, a title you put at the end of a business card, bad jokes and overly apologetic voicemails. Does it really matter all that much that I'm reformed, that I'm trying to get a job, go to school, make an honest woman of some poor, unlucky, malcontented, sympathetic, that I don't drink anymore? So what? Why are you looking at me like that? As if you're innocent, as if I'm guilty. Everything they talk about in this holy of holiest rooms for the sick and deranged I've done. I drink every time I look at a skirt and mentally project ripping it apart. Every time I speak, tell the man he's wrong. Every time I look in the mirror and turn away because I just can't look at myself for too long. Every time I go out into the world and I'm entirely alone in a crowd, unable to find a reflection or any kind of viable representation for who I am or what I'm supposed to be. The thing is, I'm always drunk, drink or not. Drunk, faded, and on a trip the likes of which must be compared to how Caesar must have felt when he was betrayed by all those of his Senate members and stabbed 23 times before he passed into infinity, muted, wrath-filled, and still raging at his defeat when he finally went, half mad, into that other plateau of existence. inescapably in transition. And it's only common sense that my belligerently helpless personality would only fare worse with a drink in my hand, right? So am I a liar, or can I just see the future? You have thoughts of suicide? No. Do you have thoughts of hurting yourself? No. Are you eating? Yes. Sleeping? Yes. There are so many plants in Danny's office: cactuses, daffodils, that long, flat, curved plant with those thorns on the end that make it look like a two-sided saw that's either sad or had too much to drink. Are you sober? Sean, are you sober? Have you had a drink since I saw you last? No. No, unfortunately, I've had no alcoholic beverages since I saw you last. I wasn't done.
Sorry.
Okay. How much time do I have?
Usually people do 3 minutes.
And it's been
5.
5 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
It's all good.
Applause. Judges, we are going to count to 3 with people who have rolled over in their grave. Jim Morrison, when Val Kilmer portrayed him in The Doors. Steve Jobs, when Ashton Kutcher portrayed him in Steve Jobs. And Beethoven, when Sid Vicious played him. He was rolling, Beethoven was rolling over, then judges hold him up. We have a 9.1, a 9.0, and a 9.0, which shows manual applause. Now we will have to sadly entertain the thing of time penalties, which is for every 0.5 for every 10 seconds over. So what was
Starting
the?
at 3:10.
What was that?
Yeah.
Starting at
Starting at 3:10. So you get 10-second grace. So this is we need HAL 9000 actually for
F
this.
linear time. That's
Yeah.
what you say to slam.
Okay, F linear time.
Will you explain slam?
Oh,
Please? No, I'm serious. Explain, like,
Oh.
format.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean,
The format, is all poems are 3 minutes or under, because, like, in instances like this, the library is going to kick us out, and we, in any case, we'll get the adjusted total after the next one. But first,